How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's draft analyst video, where we're going to look over our draft for the PTL Season 3 Division 3. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. But to help along with this video, I brought along someone from my front office. You may know him, Old Man Tup. How you doing, Tup?
What's happening, Tug Peeps? OldManTup coming at you today. And Twigs was so desperate for help, he dug the bottom of the barrel and found me underneath the barrel.
It
So
was
we're here to pitch in our 2 cents.
it was a very rat infested barrel, but here we are, and I think we've put together a pretty decent team.
It
I
didn't
mean,
look too bad.
I think so. Starting off, first round, we went ahead, and the initial plan was go Diancie, Mega Diancie right off the rip, but I'm just like, I kind of felt like we were reaching there. We had the fourth pick overall, and we went with Celesteela, the steel flying type. I
Yeah,
I've always
hard to believe this made it to pick 4.
Yeah, so there's a few mons that I see going right away. So I always see Landorus. I'd be Landorus Therian, I think it is, right?
Yep.
Tapu Koko and this. I didn't think I had a chance to get it. When it was there at 4, I was like, all right, we're going to do this. So we went Celesteela, and I'm excited to use this because you can run this thing any way you want. Besides, its speed tier. That needs a little work, but I mean, we can run Atomize to work on the speed
Yep.
in that situation. Heavy Slam is, of course, one of the biggest moves of the Celesteela core. Um, yeah. What do you think? Any input on Celesteela there?
Celesteela is just a fantastic Pokemon. It's a great can plug into just about any team ever, just because, like you said, it has such a diverse move pool. It's got access to semi-reliable recovery and Leech Seed. It's got the Autonomize. You can run one of my favorite techs on a weakness policy. You set up the turn you get hit with an Autonomize. Your speed is through the roof. Now your attacks are through the roof, and you just start dropping bombs on people.
Yes, it's. I can't wait to put this to the grinder because I'm using a team overall that I have never used before. I don't think anything on this team has been something I've used in the past, so it should be fun. Coming in second round, we went ahead and went with Street Shark, the Garchomp.
Yes.
A
Best nickname for Garchomp. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I wonder who I got it from.
I have no idea.
So once again, we're sitting there at Snake Draft. So fourth pick overall, we're not going to get a pick for a while. And somehow we get back to our turn in the second round, and there's Garchomp right there. And what does Garchomp pair so nicely with? A Celesteela. They cover each other's weaknesses so well. So we went ahead and grabbed the monster Garchomp. This
Yeah,
thing. Oh, I'm so excited to use this. I see so many people use this thing, and I'm excited.
yeah, that's a fantastic 1-2 punch right out the gate. I mean, you've already got your fantasy course started. This thing has that fantastic 102 speed tier, which just makes it so versatile. Even when you run bulkier sets, it still outspeeds so many things. The access to rough skin, uh, throw on a rocky helmet, you're peeling off a third of something's health every time it makes physical contact. And even though its special attack is only 80, it's got such a diverse move pool, much like Celesteela, that it can be run both ways in a pinch if you need it to. And that's what I love so much about it in draft format is if you know your opponent's team, you can tech it specifically to do the exact amount of damage you need on either side of the boat.
Yeah, and another thing I like about this Garchomp is not only does it have those super offensive moves, um, you can also stealth rocks. Something so simple where you're gonna bring Garchomp a good amount of times. So if you have that open fourth move, you have your rocker right there, and you don't have to stretch for it. I like that. And then you can pretty much just run any item. Like, I mean, you're sitting there, you don't need to choice it, but you can. There's banned if you already feel like you're pretty good with the speed tier that you're facing. Buff his attack even more. And then he is actually one of our Z holders as well. Any Z crystal type, and he can use it. So to me, I mean, there's just so much this Pokemon can bring to the table. But
Yeah, it's real good. Another good thing about this being a stealth rocker is it has such a high speed. You're not going to get taunted by a lot of the bulkier mons that tend to run taunt. I mean, obviously, Twig's Crobat is going to be able to taunt you, but outside of that, it's really good speed tier for a stealth rocker.
absolutely, and if he wants to come out with Mr. Twigs Crobat, throwback.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I got a couple rock moves. I think we could go at it with if it wants to do that. If it wants to play that game, I'm more than welcome to fancy that lead connection. Going into round 3, here we are. Our initial pick, random, not random. Our initial pick that we had looked at was sitting right there. Of course, we only had to wait 6 picks, I think. Um, and I don't remember who it was, but someone had already picked their mega. So we're looking at 4 picks, and that's it. We have to make it through. We have Mama Twiggles, the Mega Deontay, and I love this for one reason. I love fairy types. If it was me, 2, 3 fairy types on a team is not too much. You can't bring too many fairy types. The magic bounce ability, I think, is a great deterrent. If you don't happen to have maybe a defogger or a spinner that week, um, it's beautiful. The attack speed, the special attack is amazing. The one downfall is it seems that rock type is kind of, it hurts. It hurts a lot. But in the end, I think the speed tier and the fairy typing completely make up for it. Um, what do you got? What do you have, Tup?
Yeah, this thing is just another Pokemon that's overall really well balanced. It's got a fantastic 110 speed tier. Its defenses are nothing to scoff at. And I mean, its pre Mega Forms defenses are through the roof. So you can come in, take a hit, Mega Evolve, and you're sitting pretty. Both attacks are through the roof at 160, and it's got moves on either side of the spectrum that you can run to hit things, especially that signature move, Diamond Storm.
Oh,
But
absolutely. The fact that so attack and special attack exactly the same is amazing. When you're looking at it and the only stat under 100 base is HP, you're looking at some crazy things that could potentially happen. If you can get if you can get Mega Deontay in on a clean switch, there's gonna be some problems for the other team.
yeah,
It's like I said, I once again another mon that I have not used, and I am super excited to use it. Coming in at round 4, we picked up Streamer the Suicune. Whew, the bulk. We needed some bulk. We already had some bulk, but is there such thing as too much bulk when you're running Garchomp and Deontay as well? I mean,
there's never too much
there's
bulk.
never too much bulk. Like, so we're sitting here at 115 defense and special defense, 100 base HP. I mean, I'm just gonna sit there and watch you struggle. It's gonna be amazing. We got the Scald. I'm not one to ever really not complain, apologize for a crit or a burn or any of those kind of hacks, because we all know you're gonna get them as often as you're gonna give them. So I'm not gonna apologize for the ones I give, because I know I'm gonna get some that are just gonna kind of ruin me for my matches potentially. So I'm going for that Scald burn. It's gonna happen, and I won't be sorry. What do you
Yeah,
think?
anybody who's ever played against Crocoon knows that this thing is not to be trifled with. I mean, it is taunt bait, but at the same point, the time something gets in to taunt you, it's usually too late because you've already got one, if not two, calm minds set up. Then you just called the
Mm-hmm.
crap out of everything.
Exactly. I mean, I love things that are bulky. In the past, past draft league, I went number 1 Mega Venusaur just to have a bulky base, something to build around. I know bulky. It's something I'm used to, and I look forward to seeing what I can do with Suicune. I've seen a lot of battlers use this. I hope I can do it proud, and we'll go from there. But coming up in round 5, we have Arnie the Buzzwole, another beast type Pokemon. I mean, these Beast Boost. We forgot to mention the Beast Boost on Celesteela, but I think that's pretty well known. If you can get a Beast Boost up, whether it be defensive, offensive, it's gonna bode well for you. I know very little about Buzzwole. I will say this is probably one I have used even less than others. Um, but I mean, we got let's take a look at the move pool. We got some Brick Break, Bulk Up, Drain Punch, EQ. Let's see, Facade, Focus Punch, Hammer Arm. I mean, those are all fighting normal types. And we got our hidden powers. And we have, let's see, Leech Life, Poison Jabs, Power Up, Toxic. I'd say a pretty well-rounded move set to go with. And we're looking at the stats. Attack and defense, 139. Who would have thought that Buzzwole, looking swole like he is, will have defense just as high as his attack? Special attack and special defense, let's not worry about that one. But it's I think it's a great addition to bring to the offensive core as well as the defensive core, depending on what we go up against.
Yeah, it's really good. Even in draft league, where 4 times weaknesses can ruin a team, because so few Pokemon have access to good flying type tech outside of like Aerial Ace or Acrobatics. Buzzwole is so bulky that even though it's 4 times weak to it, you have it teched onto something. It's not a guaranteed kill from full health.
Absolutely.
Very, very rarely does something, unless it just has out insane attack power. I was running a team where I had teched a aerial ace on an Exadrill, and in come Buzzwole, and it did not do as much damage as I wanted it to do.
Exactly. And I love the fact that we can run an offensive Pokemon and still it makes it a lot easier potentially if we need to switch in, we can't get that clean switch, go in, take the hit, and then let's see what happens. I mean, having mons you don't have to get that clean switch in for is to me important to keep the momentum. It's you don't want to keep switching and switching and switching, because then you're sitting there with 6 mons, under 50%. That's the writing of a sweep for the other team right there.
Yeah, one of the downfalls of Buzzwole is it has sub base 80 speed, so it doesn't outpace a lot of common bulky mons. And I mean, unless you have it specifically in speed that get over those, you're just going to be a little bit slower than everything. I mean, which can be bad because you can get taunted, you get poisoned, you get scalded.
That's true. That is definitely true. Scold will kind of hurt that attack stat a little bit by a
But I mean,
little.
outside of that, that's just something to keep in mind for team building, is that below 80 speed.
Absolutely. And then see, and you never know. I've never seen it. Like I said, I have very little knowledge and use of Buzzwole, but I don't know how far fetched a choice item is on him. What do you think? Choice scarf, would that be useful, or are we just like you're kind of reaching at that point?
I mean, just depends on the matchup. I don't know. I mean, I've run it a couple of times in a few of the minor leagues that I'm in, but I don't know that I ever once choiced it in anything other than choice band.
Okay.
Because I mean, at that point, unless you're looking for a late game sweeper and you're desperate for something with a scarf, usually you'll go something that's going to want to be able to counter other scarfers on teams. This thing's a little bit slow. The thing I like about this is it forces out a lot of things you're going to go up against. Well, if you know something's going to switch out, you set up substitute. You sit behind a substitute, you got leftovers. This thing has access to Focus Punch. Sub Focus Punch is one of my favorite combination of moves.
Oh
But I
yes,
mean, outside of that, you get Stab Leech Life, which got the power boost a couple gens ago. So
yes, I did. I forgot about that actually.
the one of the bad things about this dual stab is he doesn't have a lot of things for bulky flying types.
That's true. That is true. But I mean, in the end, I don't see myself. I mean, unless I have to. He is one of the physical attackers. I don't see myself keeping him in at the moment unless it's desperate times against those flying types. When I have, we have the flying Buzzwole, Celesteela, so neutral there. Plus, I mean, what is a flying type move gonna do against Celesteela, anyways?
Oh,
Rock.
it's resisted. Steel resist flying.
Okay, there we go. So even better. And then we have Mega Deoncé with the rock type moves. I mean, I
Right.
feel we have enough answers for the flying type where this isn't going to be the issue that we're going to run into with Arnie. But going into round 6, we were looking at a couple spinners, defoggers. Delmine's got taken, I want to say within like 2 to 3 picks of us. I was a little heartbroken there, but we went ahead and got the counterpart to that with Decidueye. And I was actually surprised once I picked up Decidueye that it's actually a lot more physical than I thought it would be on the attacking side, as well as having the 100 base special defense to go with it. So definitely surprised. We have a spin blocker as well with that ghost typing. It can run defog. Has a nice set of Spirit Shackle for ghost type move. What else we got? We have. I thought of this Leaf Blade, another good one with that high critical hit ratio. Um, I'm excited to use
Brave Bird,
this.
all the things.
Oh, why not? 120 power Brave Bird. I mean, come on.
Bird spam is best spam.
So this is something that is exciting to use as well. I'm going to keep saying this, but I love everything we drafted. Were some of the things a little second or third choice picks? Absolutely. But I think we'd made the best options going forward as our turns came up.
Yeah, Decidueye is an interesting Pokemon. It has the ability to trap things with Spirit Shackle, access to Defog, Roost. It can just stay in. It has a couple interesting setup moves like Nasty Plot. I think it can set up dual screens if it wants to. Not 100% positive about Reflect, but
No reflect.
okay. But this thing, even with its typing, is incredibly difficult to kill, and that gets it gets overshadowed quite frequently. That's a couple times I played it in draft league. It did not. It took hits a lot better than I thought it would against certain things. So definitely not something to be scoffed at.
Yes, I liked. I also like the fact that once again, I can run this defensive if I need to. Defensive if I need to. Sorry, especially defensive. Um, and still be able to potentially put out those hits without too much investment. Of course, we're gonna try. Invest depending on the matchup. Invest what we can. But if we
Mm.
need a little bulkier grass ghost type, then we have a legitimate contestant right here for that. So going into round 7, we went ahead and grabbed the Rotom Heat Hot Pocket. And so earlier in the draft, when we went Suicune, we were looking at Rotom Wash, looking at that water type and electric type. And we got to this point and we're like, okay, we still need to get an electric type. Most of the really good electric types are gone. But here we are, we need a fire type and an electric type. And what better one to get than one with an immunity to ground type attacks with Levitate? So we went ahead and got the bulky Rotom Heat. Again, another mon that I'm not as familiar with, but I have an idea based on using Rotom Wash in the past. I mean, not the best speed tier, but throw on a scarf and I mean, it can do us some damage. Volt Switcher as well. So anything but those ground types can take a volt switch to the face if we need to kind of do a quick exit there. Let's take a look at its move pool. So we got some defog. So another defogger. Discharge. Let's see. Hex.
Yeah,
Reflect.
never overlook foul play. Foul play is one of the most underrated moves, in my opinion, in draft format because it doesn't matter what your attack is. It matters what your opponent attack is.
Ooh.
And that can be teched into so many different sets that everybody sees. Oh, Rotom Wash, I'm only going to be, or not Rotom Wash, Rotom Heat. I'm only going to be getting hit with Overheat and a special electric type attacks or a hidden power. No problem. I switch in something that can make physical hits, and then I get foul played to the face, and it's just like, what the heck just happened?
Exactly, and trust me, what the heck just happened? I feel like that's gonna be the story of my season. I have not competitive battled in over a year. So there's gonna be some stuff coming out that I'm not gonna see coming, but I'm sure I'm gonna figure it out, and I might come back at it with using it on my own the next time. I like that idea, so I'm gonna go ahead and slide that into the suggestion box for a match down the road, maybe. But it's just I think a good electric type is very important, and a lot of the electric types that I would want to take were already taken, or they didn't really fit our point system at our point in the draft. We had our set kind of planned at this point, and we needed to use those points responsibly so we can make sure we get the appropriate mons needed to finish off this draft. So going into the seventh or eighth round, we went ahead and got the quickest, not the quickest, but a pretty quickness Sneasel, Swiper the Sneasel. And Dora better watch out because we be swiping a lot. All right. The inner focus I think is super clutch because there's so many. I feel like there's so many more flinching abilities these days than there were, you know, let's say Gen 3, right? After that, I feel like there's just so many more flinching abilities than there used to be. And to have that inner focus to stop that is, I think, will come in clutch. Let's see. We're looking at a 95 base attack, 75 special defense. Let's see. Eviolite works on Sneasel, correct?
Yeah, but you're not going to be taking hits with Sneasel.
Yeah, just in case. Let's confuse them. Let's confuse them right now before we get to the battle. But you sit
Thanks,
there.
sneeze at Sneasel, and it goes down.
It's true. But
Especially after it takes 25% from rocks.
oh, that's very valid as well. See, and this is why Tubbs in the office because he's gonna remind me of all the stupid moves that I'm gonna try to make, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, you shouldn't do this because of that," and I'm like, "It's probably a valid point." But
Yeah.
also, Sneasel is one of our Z holders, so throwing an ICM Z there somewhere. Let's see. We got a fake out of our own. So I think, granted, yes, Sneasel's known for the ice type moves, but I think there's enough coverage here of moves that we could actually use to kind of throw some people off with potential Z crystals. Maybe it won't be a ICMZ every single time it ends up coming with Z crystal, and I like that. I like having a wide move pool for a Z crystal since it's open.
Well, another good thing about having your dark type be your Z crystal mover, stab dark type attacks is so good in the format. That's everyone underestimate. Another thing that gets underestimated a lot is the value of dark type attacks. I was like, well, sight or fairies running around right now. Yeah, they are, but Sneasel has coverage for that with poison jab.
Yes, I saw the poison jab.
And the only other thing that really nothing wants to come in to dark type attacks. I mean, you can bring in your fighting type, but Most fighting types aren't super bulky, aside from the one that we drafted, that generally get drafted. And I can never remember the name of the Z move for dark. It's like Black Hole Sun or something like that. And I know that's not it, but
Won't you come?
yeah, exactly. But it's just such a fantastic type to have stab Z move for.
Darkanium Z does not give me the move name.
No, it's
Sorry.
like Black Hole Eclipse or something like that.
That
I
does
always call it
sound.
Black Hole Sun though,
Hey,
because it's a good song.
it is a great song. So I look forward to using Sneasel. Something again, I think I've used it once before, back in the Crimson Seabad Draft League days. I did have Sneasel at that point, and I feel like I put in some work for having little to no draft experience at that point. So that should be pretty exciting to use. We're coming in on the back half of our draft, towards the end of it, and we went ahead and drafted Sunshine the Espeon and another Z holder user, and I love Espeon. The psychic attacks, synchronize, magic bounce, two great abilities. You almost couldn't go wrong taking either one of them depending on what they're going that week. The special attack 130, 110 speed, throw in a calm mind and see what you got. Run let's see, shield or screens, dual screens, light clay, has dazzling gleam, calm mind, psychic, heal bell.
I think it gets access to stored power, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It also does that.
That is such a good move on something that can set up, especially to get stabbed. You set up a couple calm minds, you drop a stored power, or a stored power. Nothing that resists it comes in and takes it.
It's. I'm excited once again for this next Pokemon Espeon that we're looking at right now. I just think, I mean, having a good psychic type, and yeah, Espeon's kind of, I feel like Espeon's kind of fallen off over the years for sure. But to me, you've got Vaporeon, which is kind of getting taken place of by Milotic and Suicune. Not completely, because it does have a slightly different moveset with the support moves. And then you have Jolteon. You have Umbreon on the bulky side, but I think Espeon is right up there with Sylveon. Minus being a fairy type on Sylveon's side, I think it's a great pick this deep into the draft.
Yeah,
So
I love Espeon. I think another thing I think it gets underrated. Um, the reason it's fallen from grace was everything can knock off now, and with only base 60 defense, it doesn't like that. It generally doesn't take two from a lot of things they're going to be running a physical knockoff attack. So that's a bad thing about it. But outside of that, I mean, base 130 special attack is premier special attack. It just gets overlooked. It really has a shallow attacking move pool. It's a great support mon. It can wish pass, it can baton pass, it can screen, and it can do everything. And it's got magic bounce. So you can set up with this and they're not going to toxic you because you just, oh, hey, you can't toxic this thing. I forgot. Unless they have mold breaker.
and Mold
But
Breaker is the thing. So we'll have to keep an
yes.
eye on that. Not get too cocky with like, oh, I have Magic Bounce. I'll just do this. Oh, you have that. All right,
Yeah.
good talk. All right, coming in at our tenth mon. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is Pepe Le Pew, the Skuntank. Another Dark type and Poison type right there. So base HP 103. Everything else kind of where it should be for how much a Skuntank is worth in this point system. Throwing an Assault Vest on there, make it a little bulkier. Definitely good, but I like the fact that yes, it's weak. The dark typing kind of hurts from the fairy type, but then you have the poison type to counter that part. Like, we're good. I just love,
Yeah.
once again, how bulky it can be. Straight up with how the beginning of our draft started.
Yeah, this thing only being weak to ground is really nice too, especially since you have a levitator on the team as well as a flying type. So you've got a safe switch into that. Um, Outside of that, Skuntank's good. It gives us another defogger for the team. It gives you priority with Sucker Punch if you need it. It gives you a stab knockoff user outside of Sneasel.
Pursuit Trap.
So yeah, it's a good utility mon. Very few things this is probably going to come in and pursuit trap out, but at the same time, it's a nice option.
You never know. They have to keep it in the back of their head that that is a possibility for that to
Yeah.
happen. And finally, in our last pick, we went ahead and grabbed shoutouts to my first real kind of draft league in NSTL Season 1. I took over a team. It was an interesting team. We made it work somehow as best as we could. And they had a Meryl just to make sure they had 10 Mons. And we went ahead and decided to go ahead and continue the trend and just at Mon number 11 we went with Dylan and Merrill. And I think Merrill's going to be rolling heads. What do you think, Tup?
Definitely going to be league leader in kills. This thing has nothing but power. It retains everything awesome that it would normally get as a Zoomerl, but it compacts it into one small, amazing package. So you still have access to huge power, sap sipper, and I believe thick fat, which are all very usable. This thing can use the Eviolite to boost its defenses. It has a fairly decent HP for something that's not fully evolved.
Yeah, I mean 70 HP. Now let's be honest. It was a good sale at first, but we'll see how much we actually bring Meryl. You never know. Is there an out there kind of moveset or situation where we could run Meryl? We'll find out.
Don't
And
forget, this thing scalds.
exactly, it scalds, huge power. I know huge power doesn't affect the scald part, but
No, scald's always one of those in the back pocket moves that always catches me off guard because you're thinking, okay, Meryl, Zoomer will come out. You're going to get hit with something physical right in the face because that's what it does. And then you get scalded and just like, son of a.
exactly. And
Jeez.
I also like the fact that it has sap sipper. So huge fat, or huge fat, thick fat, huge power, sap sipper. Like you said, if you're gonna be a basic form Pokemon, well, yeah, basic form because Azuriel's baby.
Yeah.
These three abilities are just amazing, in my eyes.
Yeah,
So,
they are three fantastic and usable abilities.
I mean, watch out. It may come. You never know.
Yeah, fear that base 20 attack.
That's right. Right there. Bam. Both sides. Special attack and regular attack. But that's it. That's our draft for PTL Season 3, Division 3. I hope you enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, I know I've been gone for a while. Haven't uploaded in quite some time. But hit that subscribe button. Come join us at Papa's Pup and grab a drink. Any drink you want. Right now I'm drinking water because I am parched.
Iced tea.
Ooh, that's a solid. That's a good one. That's a good one. And that's Dylan in the background right there saying hello on our way out. But like I said, hit that subscribe button. Look forward to our season 3, our first season in the PTL, but season 3 altogether. And come root us on. I have a good feeling about the season. I'm hoping. I'm very tough on myself, so bear with me. And thank you again. And I hope to see you in the next video. Later.